you guys doing? This is very important in reference to a lot of things. This is very important in reference to a lot of things. In reference to the history of these people and their credibility. These people had kidnapped me from my mother and father's mansions. And, these people have tried to claim that they thought they would be judging me. I've been the owner of my mother and father's estates. I want that publicized in the media. The date that my parents gave me the estates. Both my parents was alive. I've been the owner of the estates since I was little. And we want to know who these people are and what race they are of these people that thought they would try to infiltrate my life, cause a whole bunch of bullshit, or they'd try to cause all kinds of slander that they'd fabricate. And who, what, when, and where these people are, where they came from with their lies and their tricks. And what their financial portfolios are, who they are, what their financial portfolios are, and why they thought they'd ever have any right trespassing into my life, slandering my character, kidnapping me from my mother and father's estates, and these people fabricating things to slander my character, such as them burning my mouth with satellites. Any government man denying the facts of information of satellite technology abuses that these people have done to me, or any other abuses that they have done to me, those politicians can end up in prison. So can police chiefs. Anybody can. I'm the only child of my mother and father. These people denying the satellite abuses that these people have been doing to me is treason. These people trying to slander my character. The activity of these people blocking me from my mother and father's mansions, of which I got kidnapped from, we need to know the exact name of each individual. They are not entitled to nothing. The Royal Protocol is a prenup. It's a prenup in reference to friendships. It's a prenup in reference to relationships. And it's been there since the day I was born. And it's there forever. And it explains all the information, such as in reference to gold digging people that are trying to steal the estates from me, people trying to block me from my mother and father's estates, of which they were obviously involved in kidnapping me from my mother and father's mansions. The credibility and credentials of these individuals and the ways they have abused me and slandered my character and terrorized my life. The Royal Protocol is protection documents of my identity and my physical anatomy, too. And there is treasury guidelines and banker laws in reference to accounts that my mother and father had that they had gave to me, and trust fund information. So in reference to the government, they're messing with my throat, and they're still burning my upper lip. Who are these people to burn my upper lip? My DNA is on record. I'm the only child of my parents. It even tells you in the Royal Protocol I don't have any real direct relatives. I have distant relatives and some acknowledgments of some things. And there's like associated uncles and associated aunts of Hollywood and certain acknowledgments, but they would never have a right trying to block me from my mother and father's estates, and they'd not have any right slandering my character or bullying me or anything like that. And another thing, in reference to my mother and father's companies and the history of corporate status and levels of status, this is very important in reference to, I'm the owner of my mother and father's offices. So, when my mother and father had died, they got murdered, and then they were frozen. But, in reference to the situation, and people need to know how long this situation has been going on. When they had kidnapped me back in the 80s, when they had tried to kidnap me at other times even before then, and the injuries that I've had when I was a little boy, and, all the other injuries these people have caused or they have tried to do, throughout the years, and what their attempts are and what their reasons are. Like they tried to say, well, this person said this about you. I don't hang out with that person. I don't even know that person. This person said, oh, eyewitness account. No, I don't know that person either. Oh, that person tried to set me up, or that person tried to frame me. Or then they tried to frame me with some girl trying to set me up to frame me because of some girl. No, I'm not playing that shit either. I have royal diplomatic immunity, which is above government. It is not a government issued status. It can never be taken away. My royal diplomatic immunity is a birth status and tycoon status. So in reference to people and all the lies and tricks that they have tried to do, and the fact that, these people tried to play this game like, oh, they were trying to judge you in a work environment. They were trying to judge you in this and that. And then they find out these people had ties with all these other people that tried to slander my character. In reference to the guidelines of what my lifestyle is supposed to be, my mother and father had documents of what my lifestyle is supposed to be, what I was supposed to be doing. It wasn't me supposed to be working in, low wage jobs or lower wage jobs or these types of jobs, or these, in general population. No. I was supposed to be working in movies and television, and I was supposed to be at the executive offices of my parents. And it's on guideline documents and, standard financial history of what my lifestyle is supposed to be that my parents afforded for me. I'm the only child. And the U.S. government has known that since the day I was born. My parents and I even traveled to other countries when I was a little boy. And my father had told them that I was the only child my father and mother had. And I was going to be the only child they ever had. And that's documented. And in reference to, like, for instance, executives and positions of the companies, does anybody know what the guidelines are in reference to that? What qualities a person has to have to be in those types of positions? Such as board members or the chairman of the board kind of status, or board members or CEO acknowledgments of, some of these people that are trying to steal the estates of my parents don't even have the qualities or the licensing to be in those positions. Not above me, no matter what. But who are they to terrorize me and to be burning me with satellites and surveillance, and then claiming, and then, they were using their handheld lasers, tasering me from 30 or 40 feet away and stuff like that. And then you turn around, you look, and then somebody ducks behind an aisle in a store or something. Or somebody does this from certain particular camera technology and targeting cameras that they use, But the point of it is, in reference to people slandering my character, who are these people? Who are they to try to judge me in any way? Who are they to be messing with my mouth and damaging my teeth and face? And these people trying to steal my penis and whatever they've stolen. Need that documented, how much they stole from my penis. How much blood they have stolen, how much sperm they have stolen, how many relationships with girlfriends that are Hollywood actresses or celebrities or models that I've dated, that these people had ruined those relationships. And how many of those females had meetings with people that had been in court before for conspiring against me or my mother and father. Find out which people had meetings with what people that slandered my character. This is very important in reference to history. So in reference to these people and their activity of slandering my character, who are they to trespass into my life? Don't forget, I was a straight A student. And I'm an entertainer. And I'm a sports athlete, too. Look up the per diem information about how much money I was supposed to have access to on a daily basis. My parents even had that on record, too. And we need somebody to put it on a website in reference to all my mother and father's mansions. I don't have the information here. So, in reference to, making a website or, I need somebody to make somebody at one of the companies, maybe Walt Disney World will make one, or maybe the attorneys or somebody. I haven't received a penny from the attorneys either. And, in reference to satellite controllers trying to make people look stupid or trying to drive people up a wall, Are people trying to mess with somebody like a chicken with his head cut off or something? These government people terrorizing my life? I'm not playing it. You deny it even 1 second that you've ever done these things to me, you can end up in prison for the rest of your lives. And I haven't received any letters from any of the girls. If anybody's delivered anything to the university where I've been working at, I've not received anything. I've not received any letters or phone numbers from any girls or celebrities. I don't know if somebody's confiscating the information, but in reference to my mother and father's mansions, I haven't even received any information from the lawn care companies that are, the maintenance of the lawns or the grounds. But anyways, it's a very serious thing. I've not received anything from any of the companies at all. And for the courts to pretend like they don't know which person's stealing the postal mail, that's just total incompetence and deliberate fraud in the courts of these people, pretending like they don't know which people are doing these things. And in reference to people that have, been slandering my character and their attempts of murdering me and stealing from me, and, consider the source, the race, and the religion of these individuals. Whether there's been court cases against these people before or not. Whether my mother and father had restraining orders against these people. They just hit me in the throat. Whether these people had stolen from my parents or whether they owed my parents money. And the deeds department, I've not received any lawsuit monies in reference to people blocking me from the properties. The deeds department knows I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates. I'm the owner of all the companies and properties and land. Not even received one letter from the deeds department either. Or the treasury. So obviously there's some violations there in reference to communications. And these people and their activity of terrorizing my life, those people need to get prosecuted for their crimes. Everything they're doing is fraud and embezzlement. They're embezzling time and money, and they're extorting. Then these people, in reference to them kidnapping me from my mother and father's mansions, and they had a whole bunch of clowns trying to claim that they thought I was their child. The real protocol in the media is a birth certificate of my identity. Have not even seen one story on the news in reference to who I am and who my parents are. But the royal protocol is in the media. It's in the news too. And it tells people who I am. But obviously, people aren't understanding it. So it has to be a direct story of information. And the activity of things is just absurd. The history of the time that these people are embezzling, the monies they're hiding, the monies they're stealing from me in courts and insurance and benefit monies I was supposed to have received. It's treason. Real protocol even tells you my parents only had one child and I'm the only child of my parents. So how many other clowns made up fraudulent scams or where they tried to detour information, trying to claim that they thought they were the child of my parents? No. The real protocol in the media is my identity. Not anybody else thinking they thought they were me. Not anybody else thinking they thought they were a long-lost child of my parents. No, that doesn't work that way. And where's the lawsuit monies from the past, from the delays of information? These satellite controllers have been burning me for over 26 years in some acknowledgments. They were even burning me back in the 80s. Where's those lawsuit monies when they held me hostage in Indiana? Where's the news story of them mentioning who I am and who my parents are? People are embezzling time and they're wasting years. They've wasted years of my life holding me hostage. And then they try to make me look stupid when I mention information because nobody else around me knows the information. That's what it seems like. Like nobody is, seems to know any information. Or maybe just people don't want to even mention it or something. But the information of what my parents had at the Treasury is that it is a demand that it be publicized in the media nationwide. And my parents owned properties and businesses in many cities and states. And all cities and states where my parents had companies or businesses must go public with the information in the media. It is obligatory by law. Just remember that.